The restaurant was filled with quiet conversation and soft music, the kind of place where privacy is protected and attention is discreet. No one noticed the small moment unfolding in the corner booth. But within minutes, that quiet moment would change 3 lives forever. She had chosen the table near the window so her daughter could feel the warmth of the sun on her face. Though the little girl could not see the world around her, she loved the way sunlight felt on her skin. Her mother watched her closely, always alert, always protective. Wealth had given her influence, comfort, and security. But it had never given her the one thing she wanted most: to see her daughter experience joy without fear or limitation. When the waitress approached the table, she carried more than a notepad and a polite smile. She carried a calm presence, steady and gentle. She greeted the child first, not with pity, but with warmth. She asked her what her favorite color was. The little girl smiled and answered confidently, describing a shade of blue she had only ever imagined through stories. The waitress knelt beside her and described the restaurant in detail: the golden light, the polished wood floors, the way the glasses shimmered. She painted pictures with her words. The mother watched carefully, surprised. Most people avoided long interactions, unsure of what to say. This waitress seemed completely at ease. When the food arrived, the waitress didn't rush away. She quietly asked if she could help. With gentle patience, she guided the little girl's hands to the plate, describing where each item was placed. She explained textures, temperatures, and flavors before the first bite. The child listened intently, smiling wider with each explanation. Then something unexpected happened. The little girl struggled to cut a piece of her meal. Without hesitation, the waitress softly said, "May I?" She guided the child's hand again, not taking over, but teaching, encouraging, empowering. The mother felt something shift inside her. She had seen doctors, therapists, specialists, all highly trained, all professional. But she had rarely seen someone connect with her daughter like this. Not out of duty, not for recognition, simply out of compassion. As the meal continued, laughter replaced tension. The little girl asked the waitress what she looked like. The waitress described herself honestly: her curly hair pulled back, her simple uniform, the small scar near her eyebrow from childhood. The child reached forward and gently touched her face, smiling as she built the image in her mind. The mother blinked back emotion. For the first time in a long time, her daughter didn't seem different. She seemed free. When the waitress stepped away to serve another table, the mother quietly asked the manager about her. She learned that the young woman worked double shifts to support her younger siblings. She had once dreamed of becoming a teacher but had paused her education due to financial hardship. The mother looked back at her daughter, who was still smiling, and in that moment, a decision began to form. By the end of the meal, the restaurant felt different. The small acts of kindness had grown into something much larger. The mother asked the waitress to sit with them for a moment after her shift ended. The young woman hesitated, unsure if she had done something wrong. Instead, she was met with gratitude. The mother thanked her sincerely, explaining how rare it was to see someone treat her daughter with such natural respect. The waitress shrugged modestly, saying she simply treated her like any other child. That answer meant everything. Other than asked a simple question: if nothing were holding you back, what would you want to do? The waitress hesitated before answering honestly. She spoke about her dream of finishing college, becoming an educator, and creating inclusive classrooms where children of all abilities felt seen and valued. She spoke quietly, as if dreams were fragile things. The mother listened carefully. Within days, arrangements were made. A scholarship was created in the waitress's name. Tuition was covered in full. A living stipend ensured she wouldn't have to choose between work and study again. But the support didn't stop there. The mother invited her to be part of her daughter's world, not as charity, not as obligation, but as someone who had already made a difference. Months later, the waitress began her first semester back at school. She studied harder than ever, fueled by purpose. She volunteered with organizations supporting visually impaired children. She visited the little girl often, reading aloud, describing books, building worlds through words. The mother watched it all unfold with quiet gratitude. Her wealth had built companies and investments. But this time, it built a future. Years later, when the former waitress stood in front of her own classroom for the first time, she remembered that afternoon in the restaurant. The sunlight, the laughter, the small hands reaching forward in trust. One act of kindness had been seen, and because it was seen, it was multiplied. Sometimes, life changes not because of grand gestures, but because someone chooses to care when no one is watching.